You know, the Buddha, before he got enlightenment, he was a king and his name was Siddhartha. Siddhartha means the one who can make everything to happen like what he wants. But actually it was just a name. Yeah. After he got enlightenment, the time that he realized or he attained the Four Noble Truths, he was called Buddha. Buddha is the Pali word. It comes from the word Buddha. Buddha means awaken or awake. When we live with the darkness or that our mind covered by ignorance, it's the same thing as we are falling asleep. And we are falling asleep in the house which is burning. When life covered by many kind of defilement, it is like we are getting asleep, especially with ignorance. The Buddha compared ignorance like mosquito net. When we sleep in the forest or in the countryside, we have the mosquito net to protect ourselves from the mosquito or the insects. And when we sleep in the house, in the countryside, we still use the mosquito net. So we cannot see something outside. We are covered by the mosquito net, by the net. The net. So the net is covering us when we are sleeping. And we sleep in the house which is burning. So the whole house is like our body or five khandhas, five aggregates. Yes, burning by many defilements like aversion, attachment, jealousy. Yeah, they are like fire. Yes. And one more thing is about the old age or sickness, also compared to the fire, which is burning our body, burning our life from starting point to the end. And then when he got enlightenment, he realized the Four Noble Truths is compared to the one who is sleeping in the net in the house which is burning and then wake up. Right. And then try to get out of the net and of the burning house. Yes. That time he was called Buddha, the one who was awakened from the net of ignorance, you know? Yeah. And the Four Noble Truths is the fundamental teaching of the Buddha. So being asked, what is Buddhism? The answer should be Buddhism is the teaching of the Buddha. And what is the teaching of the Buddha? The fundamental teaching of the Buddha is the Four Noble Truths. Yes. So those who come to Buddhism or to respect or to pay respect to the Buddha, but they never studied about the Four Noble Truths or they don't understand the Four Noble Truths, it means they know nothing about Buddhism. You know? That is why I always say those who can go to the monastery not just for human, even birds, even the cow or animal also can go to the temple, to the monastery. But the real way to go to the real Buddhism, not going by physically traveling, it's hard to explain to people who just follow Buddhism through the culture or tradition, you know. They just follow what their elders have done.
Yeah.
You know, I have a funny story. It is funny, but it show the reality of Buddhist community, you know. One old monk, he has a disease on his head, you know, like something like very itchy, you know.
Right, some sort of skin disease.
Yeah, skin disease on his head. And normally when he eat watermelon.
Oh yes, watermelon.
And we cut it to two parts.
Yes.
And then he used one part as a head, you know. Yeah. He eat all watermelon inside, and then he keep the layer or what you call
the skin, I guess.
The skin of watermelon.
Yes. So fruit, we say fruit has a skin.
And then he used the watermelon skin to cover his head. He used it for two purposes. One is to make it feel cold.
Yes.
And another one is to protect the fly, not to bite his head. The young monk always see the old monk do like this. But young monk never ask why you do this. When the old monk passed away, the young monk become the abode of the monastery, and he sit at the place that the old monk used to sit. And then every time that he eats the watermelon, he always use the watermelon's skin to cover his head like that.
Yes.
And when being asked, why you do that? Yeah, I follow my ancestor. I follow the elders. So I think 70% of people who practice Buddhism is the same thing as the young monk who just follow what the elder do, the elder monk do, you know. The same way that the older monk do. But they do not really understand. They don't understand what is the real purpose of doing that.
Yes. So you could say they blindly follow.
That's right.
That they don't think about it. They just copy.
Yes, they just copy. Yeah. So the old monk, nothing wrong with his doing, because he had his own purpose. Why he did this? Because he had disease on his skin, on his head. That's why he did this. But the young monk followed blindly.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, many Buddhists, when people ask, why do you go to the monastery? Why do you pay respect to the Buddha? Why do you celebrate this ceremony? Most answers are, yeah, our ancestors have done this for a long time. Why we don't do that? We follow our ancestor. But for what? They don't know for what. They just follow, and they feel that if they don't do it, it's like they haven't done anything right. Yeah. But the Buddha's way, the Buddha path is not that. It's the path of wisdom. It's the path of understanding. Like many times he said, don't believe in anything unless you understand. Buddha always remind about that. Don't just believe in anything, even it is written in the the religious book, or even it is said by our ancestor. But whenever you don't understand the real meaning of it, just keep it away. Even it is said, this is the Buddha's teaching, but if you don't understand, don't believe.
Is that because
it wrong, or you may get the wrong belief if you don't understand. Yeah. I like to study because Buddha never forced anyone to believe. Just try to understand.